Hi, welcome yet again to a new episode. I'm your host, Dr. Faith Elizabeth Nanyonga. Today I'm going to be talking about writing cover letters, motivation statements, or personal statements as they are known in graduate school. I hope you join me on this episode as we delve into how to write a cover letter and how to stand out of the crowd while applying for your PhD or your graduate experience. I should say a cover letter is the most important document needed when applying for PhD. You might be wondering, why is she saying this? But I'm going to explain. A cover letter is that document that will talk about who you are, your interests, your skills, your experience, and why you're the fit when it comes to that chosen PhD that you're looking at. So, structuring your cover letter in such a way that depicts who you are, your skills, your interests, and also why you're the best fit for that PhD that you're applying for is the most important step that you need to do when securing your PhD placement or scholarship. Before I get into details, here's an advert from our sponsors, Anchor. So a cover letter really matters when you're applying for PhD. And when done right, it spells out clearly who you are, what you have to offer, and most importantly, why your skills, experience, and interests make you the best fit when it comes to the PhD that you're applying for. So put yourself in the reviewer's shoes. The reviewer is looking at these components that they need to find in your cover letter. The three questions are: can you do the PhD? Do you have what it takes to do the PhD? And 3, do we like this person that we are choosing to do the PhD? So if you nail these 3 components, you are on the right track of getting that PhD that you're vying for. This is also applicable in job applications when you're writing cover letters. But for now, let's concentrate on the graduate school applying for PhDs. When that time comes when I have to record about job applications, I'll give more details on how to write cover letters for job applications. So my first point when writing a killer cover letter is nail them on the lead. The first sentence that they read, it should captivate the reader. Draw them in with the first hook. That first sentence that they read, it should talk about why you're the right fit for that PhD. It should give them that insight to want to read more of your cover letter. Because if it's not catchy, they're not going to be able to continue reading your cover letter. They might put it aside into the pile. But if that sentence is exactly what they need to hear, you are on the right path. In this section, you articulately spell out the reasons as to why you're the right fit for this PhD. Give them that connection, because as humans, we have an emotional connection when it comes to things. If I'm reading something and it captivates me, I'll be like, oh, I want to know more about this story. Let me continue reading the document. So grab them at the halo, grab them at that first word. So state who you are, why you're the right person for that PhD, and why your interests align with the interest of that supervisor, and also link your background to the existing PhD that you're applying for. Say you're applying for a PhD in agriculture and you're a son of a famous agriculturist in your home country. You would write, I have a personal interest in agriculture that dates back to many years. As a son of an agriculturist, I saw how my father tended to his plants and agriculture farms. From these farms, my family was able to obtain food, tuition for our studies, and a decent livelihood. I also learned that agriculture is the backbone for many economies around the world, although there are still disparities when it comes to agriculture and how produce reaches the markets. As an agronomist, I've been able to help many farms scale up their produce, improve the quality and the management of their soil. That has improved produce quality. With my 2 years working experience at different farms, I've been able to see these farms scale up their produce to different markets, and many are vying for international markets. I hope you get the gist. This first paragraph has talked about this person's background, their interests, and their contribution to the agriculture sector. So I want you to have a go at writing the first paragraph of your cover letter, clearly stating your background, your interests, and your contribution towards the field that you're vying for. What if you're that person without the working experience like this agriculturist? Let me tell you how you'd go about writing the first statement of your cover letter. In this paragraph, you could state your interest, you could state what has grown your interest, and also you would state how you hope that the PhD will be able to solve the problem that you've noticed in this field that you're looking at, linking it back to the PhD advert that you've seen or to your proposed project. Say your intended PhD project is in transport, but you're an economist. You've used transport every day because everyone travels, but you don't have the nitty-gritty knowledge that comes to transports and aspects of transport. How would you go about writing your first statement? Considering that economics is cross-cutting through different sectors, I decided to pursue a bachelor's degree in economics, but my undying interest in transport and logistics never waned. I am applying for this PhD because I'm fascinated with transport. Why you want that PhD? But you've also showed the person that you had an interest in transport that has never gone away, but now you've studied economics and you're linking economics with transport and logistics. That's a good way to start your personal statement. So when you're done with this aspect of the personal statement, the second paragraph of your personal statement should give depth in your qualification, in your experience, and also what you're good at. State your qualifications, state why you're the right fit for that PhD, and also continue being captivating to your reader or to the reviewer of your application. This section is the muscle of your cover letter, and it's the point that the person will be like, yeah, even if they're lacking this skill, I'm sure they'll have what it takes to start the PhD, and along the journey, they're going to learn more skills. So do your job when it comes to writing the second paragraph. Now, you might not always have that well-crafted story to set you apart while applying for a PhD, but you might have a personal and specific reason as to why you've chosen that given PhD and that given university. So tell them that. Just be sure to keep everything on point. You need to transition from your story to I'm the person you're looking for to do this PhD, or else the reader will know that you're off on a tangent and they might just stop reading your cover letter and put it aside. If you need more help, be sure to contact me on email. My email address is in the show notes of this episode. That way I can guide you further on how to go about writing your cover letter. So after you finish writing this first paragraph, which I call the lead, the next thing is provide direct evidence as to why you're the perfect fit for this PhD position that you're applying for. This is the muscle of your PhD cover letter. What you're going to do, you're going to sit down and study the PhD advert or the PhD position description and pick out those points that they're looking for the ideal PhD student. This is likely to be the longest part of your PhD cover letter, so get it right the first instant. I usually head into this section with the exact line in my mind. What specifically would I bring to this research group in a PhD role? And then develop a few quick bullet points to answer this question. This could be your preferred qualifications and skills, your work experience, and also answering what the PhD advert is asking for. For instance, if you're great at Java, Python, and they're looking for someone who can handle big data sets on a given project, state that. Spell out that in this section. I typically emphasize these core points in bold to show the reader this is what you're looking for and here it is. The bolding of the text leads the reader's eyes exactly to what they're looking for. So after I bolded the statement, I briefly expound on it with direct evidence to support my claim. How would you do this? Is to make it easy for them to see that you're the perfect fit for the PhD that you're applying for. And taking you on as a PhD student would be an added advantage to the research group. So as we've discussed, if you're an agronomist, your 2 points might sound like this. For those that don't know, an agronomist is an agriculturist. So here are the 2 points. 2 of your bullet points might read like 5 years of experience in agronomy with various local farms. In my current role, I've set up numerous education farm outlets with farmers, teaching them how to best utilize their soils and improve farm produce. I excel in teaching farmers improve techniques to deliver exceptional organic produce at a fair price. If you're a problem solver, state how you've solved problem in your current role or in your past experiences. You could say, unmatched problem solving skills. Again, this is bolded. A great agronomist coordinator can face unexpected issues without breaking a sweat. This is one of my top strengths. I plan meticulously, looking at every contingency in advance. But if something crops up last minute, like the time I planned a one-to-one session with an audience of 5 farmers and 50 of them turned up, I swiftly and calmly went into resolution mode. Again, you want to spell out quickly and directly what makes you a great fit for this PhD and share supporting evidence to back your claim. You can include 3 to 4 of these statements in your cover letter, but again, it will depend on how long each statement is. Your goal is to make it easy for them to see that you're the right fit for this PhD and make them feel so compelled to invite you for an interview. So the last part of your cover letter is the close. The key with the close is to create something that summarizes everything that you've said without being pushy and cliche. So my advice for you when you're writing this part, do not be pushy, don't be obnoxious, and refrain from using cliche statements. You've done a lot in the last 2 parts, you don't want it to go to waste and not getting yourself an interview that you're looking for. So here are 4 tips that could help you when you're writing the close of your cover letter. Number 1, show confidence and be enthusiastic. 2, briefly sum up why you think you're a great fit. And number 3, express gratitude for their time and consideration reading your cover letter. And number 4, the last and not the least, ask for an interview. For instance, a clause for an agronomist might be, I believe my energy and passion for improved soil management and crop production, along with my experience advocating for better agriculture techniques, would serve you well. I would love an opportunity to learn more about your specific goals and needs and share what I could offer. I appreciate your positive consideration. You will notice that this part is friendly, straight to the point, and lacks cliches. This is exactly what you need to do when you're structuring your close for your cover letter. Do not be so pushy, just be polite, and also remember to thank the person for taking time to review your cover letter. I hope this episode has helped you figure out how to write your cover letter. If you require any more help, be sure to shoot me an email and I'll be sure to help you. If you found this episode useful, please subscribe, rate and review in iTunes, and also share it with your friends and family. Share it in your WhatsApp groups. In the next coming episodes, I'll talk about how to craft your resume or CV to say exactly what your cover letter is saying. And I hope to speak to you in the next episode. If you've liked what I've produced in this episode, send me an email, leave a review. If you have no time to type, you can even send me a voice note through the website, which is Anchor. You will see where you can record a voice note about how you found the episode. If you have any topics that you want me to discuss, please be sure to get in touch. I'm here to help. So if you require any help in terms of writing your cover letter, it might not be a PhD, it might be a job that you're applying for, I'm your girl. I hope you've learned something from this episode. I can't wait to speak to you in the next episode. Tune in next week on Sunday to listen to a new episode about how to craft your resume to depict what your cover letter is saying. I'm signing out. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.